Fantastic. Hello there, Master Hellish here, and welcome back to my Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. Now, since last time, oh my goodness, since last time, we are now in KSP version 1.05, which means we've got some new parts. Look, if I go over to R&D and we go and look at aviation, we've got a small jet engine and a small intake and some other things. However, this messed my game save up a little bit and I had to fix it all. I had to go into the files, copy and paste things from other... Basically, I fixed it. But we can carry on. Now, the only problem is that if we head over here into the space plane hangar and try and load some of our craft, for example, the plane Mark 1, here it is. We can't use these yet because they've moved where some of these items are. For example, the air intake and the jet engine, we're not supposed to have it yet. So if we try and fly this plane, launch, we get a message, we can't use those experimental parts. So, in its place, I decided to start from scratch, use the new parts and build a bigger and better jet plane. And I have called it the Jet Mark 1. We're moving away from plane, we're going to use the word jet. And here it is. The Jet Mark 1. It's got these little tiny jet engines on them. And because they're so... Hang on, that's the air intake. Here's the engines. And because the engine... Let's go here and have a look at it. Because it doesn't really generate a lot of thrust. I've put 6 on. You know, to really just... do it proud. We've got the small tanks that are now in the game and the small air intakes, and then 3 large tanks in the middle of fuel, and of course a couple of solar panels, a service bay with a load of batteries in it, just because I couldn't think of a better place to put the batteries, a thermometer on top, and a communitron. So this is our new start. Now I must admit, I have taken this out on a test flight, and we're going to do that quickly now. It's a bit difficult, and the reason is that we can't take off. It's got 60 parts, and we're only allowed 30 in the space plane hangar. However, right, if I save this, and we head over to the VAB, okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go in here and load up the Jet Mark 1, like this, and then we're going to pick it up. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Undo. There we go. Get out the way. Yeah, we're going to pick it up, turn it round, and pop it down. Because we're going to take this off the launch pad. We'll save that. Make sure we've got Valentina in. Jebediah, you've been banned from flying jet engines, jet planes, alright? Valentina, our ace pilot. Away we go. So here it is on the pad. Let's get this thing up in the air. SAS on, jets to max. There we go. And we've got to try and avoid this divot. So, initiate engines. And now jets off. There we go. And we're just going to let it roll its way off the launch pad. We're going to go off this way, because the runway is kind of over there. We'd have to slowly roll over the runway. It'd take forever. Valentina, I hope you're going to enjoy your flight. This is the new Mark 1, the jet, with all the new parts, with the new air intakes and the new fuel tanks and the new jet engines, because we can't use the old ones. Right, max power. There we go. So there is a lot of fuel on board. If we have a look here, we've got 2,100 units of fuel. Really starting to push now on those 6 engines, nearly up to 100 meters per second. Fine controls on. Tap S, try and get some lift. There it is. There it is. We have lift off. Turn fine controls off, and there we go. Valentina, look at her. She's loving it. And of course, if we press C, we can go in the cockpit. It's a bit noisy in here, but yeah. There's a brand new cockpit. I don't know why it's in docking mode. Can we fly? Oh, I don't know how well it flies while you're in the... Oh my word. So these bits you can see down here at the edge of the cockpits, they're the the tail fins that I stick on the front of these basic aircraft. Let's go back. There we go. Valentina, don't go flying too far. This is just a bit of a... oh my goodness. It does corner quite well, but I did have some problems when landing in my first test flight. This is the second proper test flight. Because it just... you get to a certain amount and the thing just drops out the sky. It loses... I suppose that happens with everything, really. But now, also in 1.5, KSP 1.5, you can land on water. I'm not going to do that. This is a hardcore career mode, so let's just head back to the space. Look at the speed it's getting up with those engines. Look at it. We've got Mach effects already. Although we probably ought to cut those engines. Get ready for a landing. Just going to slow us down, bring our height. Just doing a little bit of up and down wibblies. I want to slow us down to about 90, maybe 70. Let's turn the brakes on. Let's get a little bit more height because we're going to try and get over the runway. There we are. We're going to try and get over the runway before we land it. There we are. We're at 80 now, so we want to get quite close to the ground because it's around about the 50 mark that it's going to start dropping out the sky anyway. Ooh. Steady, steady. Let's see. Can we get a yaw? Oh, never mind. We're taking her down here. Valentina, brakes are on. There we go. A safe landing. I wonder how well this turns. It doesn't really turn at high speed, does it? Okay. Well, I'm going to taxi Valentina back to the space center, and as the sun rises, we're going to move on to the main parts of today. But that's really. The things that are affecting us right now are mainly jet engines. There's a few other little components, but so there's mainly stuff later on. And we'll have to play on the water at some point. We couldn't really do that properly before. We'll be able to soon. Right, over to the next thing. Okay, so also since last time, I've been a little bit busy. Remember that satellite we put in orbit of Kerbin? Well, there's now 2 more. We've got the Mark 1 sat orbiting Kerbin at its nice little angle. And what I did is I put that satellite on top of the craft that we took to the moon last time. And now we have this. Here, not the blue ones. Hang a minute. There we are. We have this one, the green one. We have a satellite orbiting the moon as well. Let's fly it. Here it is. Look at it. It's tiny. And what I did is I brought the satellite orbiting the moon and the satellite that's on the surface of the moon that you saw a moment ago in one go. I just dropped this stage off as I went, and all it is some solar panels, a service bay with a battery, a can and a temperature sensor. Oh, and an antenna. That's it. That's our little tiny satellite. It's fantastic. Worked because it's so small, I think. But yeah, I'm liking it. And also, what else have we got? On the surface, that's right, let's go back to the Space Center. On the surface, we've got the Mark... well, it's down as the Mark 7, because that was the body that I used to get it there. We were going to rename it, actually. Let's get down there. And this is the probe that I landed. Similar to the ones I landed previously. It's probably just a little... it's just got this... I don't know. Well, it's here anyway. And the sun's coming up or down, I have no idea. This one's fairly similar, except it's got... well, the core at the top here. Battery, solar panels. It's fairly similar. I put more solar panels because it's going to be more susceptible on the surface of the moon to missing the sun. And of course, fuel. So this and the one in orbit were together. I dropped the one in orbit off and then landed this there. And the reason I've done that, the reason. Let's go back to the Space Center. Alright, Gene, how's it going? The reason is we keep getting science from space around Kerbin or around the moon or off the surface of the moon. Just little contracts. And they cost a lot of money to actually put something there, which I've done. However, if we've got something there orbiting like we have now, we can just complete them. And look what I picked up. Science data from space around Kerbin, and science data from the surface of the moon. Fantastic. 2 little contracts. Now, on their own, 42,000, quite a lot of, credits, to actually spend to just do one little contract. But we've got those little satellites there permanently now until we decide that we want to replace them or something. So we can do them. We've got the contracts over here. Let's see. First things first, space around Kerbin. Let's go to the satellite center and then over to our Mark 1 sat orbiting Kerbin. And here it is. Here's our Mark 1 satellite. Very similar to the other 2 satellites that the other satellite that we got. We probably need to rename those actually. But if we do a temperature scan, here we are. Keep the data. And then, oh, hang on a minute. I meant to transmit that. Temperatures, yeah. And then transmit the data. That should satisfy the requirements for the contract. And there it is. Contract complete. And we've got our completion reward. What was the other contract? Transmit or recover scientific data from surface of the moon. Right, let's go there. And there it is on the surface of the moon. Our Moon Probe 1. We need to transmit or recover scientific data from the surface of the moon. Well, guess what we have? We have a thermometer. Let's log the temperature and then transmit it back. Da, 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 da. Boop, 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 boop. There we are. And that's that contract done as well. And of course, we get 30,000 credits. It didn't cost me too much to put these 2 little probes here, but that's what we've got sorted. Easy as that. So that's the since last time and some nice little contracts done. If we get contracts like that again, we can just come back to these probes and do the same thing. And I cannot believe our luck. Look what we have here. Science data from space around the moon. Well, you know what we've got? Oh yes. Let's take that. Let's nip over there and have a look. There we are. Moon. Right, science from data around the moon. Is this one goes around the moon? Its orbit isn't really that great. It's got a 3047 slightly elliptical orbit, but never mind. And here we go. So we're going to use all 3 probes today that we've got out here. Actually going to rename this vessel as well. It's a Moon Probe 2. Because Moon Probe 1's on the surface. There we are. Anyway, right, that's that renamed. So log temperature, transmit, and done. Another contract, another bunch of thousands in the bank. Fantastic that. What's the battery life like on this one at the minute? Not great, to be honest. But we could just, I think, just rotate it a little bit. There we go. We'll just face it towards the sun. The only problem with this one is that I couldn't get this decoupler to detach in a way I wanted to leave it. It'd have been nice to have the probe without the decoupler on it, but never mind. It was either going to be on here or it was going to be on the probe on the surface. Right, let's go see what else we've got. Well, that appears to be all of the easy ones for now. So, the next thing I think we need to do is we need to stop messing around flying around Kerbin and going to the moon. Let's go to Minmus. Oh yes, look at the money. Oh yes, Gene's excited about this. Come on, Gene. Let's accept that contract. We're ignoring this temperature scans at the minute. I want to get a better jet plane first. And let's go to fly by Minmus. To do that, we're going to need a new ship. Hopefully we're going to be able to build one with the parts available in this version. But okay, let's give it a go. So a few episodes ago, we upgraded both, we upgraded the VAB and the launch pad was already upgraded as well. So we've got a really, really large limit on the stuff that we can build. Now, I think first of all, we ought to send a probe. There's the probe. Let's bring this up. There. Right, now, so we're going to try and land this probe on the surface of Minmus. To do that, I think we're going to put a load of fuel under it. There we go. Is that a lot of fuel? That is quite a lot of fuel. Let's give it an engine. There we go. Now on Minmus the gravity is really small, so if you fall over you should be alright, I reckon. Now we don't have we've actually lost some landing struts. The landing struts that we used to land the lander on the moon we don't have anymore, so we're going to have to use these ones. So let's get 4 of them and let's just extend them. Is that going to be good enough? I don't know. Let's just do a little bit of a jig there. That's better. Just a little bit of a jig, and let's just move them about a little bit. Let's just bring them up and in. Perfect. Just retract, thank you. Right. Okay. So this is not ready yet. It's not ready yet by far. Going to need some solar panels. Let's rotate them. 4 should do it, I think. A battery. Let's put a battery on top. Yep, looks good to me. So we need power. We've got power. We can store that power. We can control it, and we've got a little. Right, that looks good. Should we really bother taking a mystery goo over there? And should we send a science junior? I'm thinking maybe we should. That is a very top-heavy probey thing to send to Min. Tell you what, maybe we'll send a proper science mission next time. For now, we will just go with a probe to land. We'll do temperature scans. Now we don't want that many temperature scans. We just want a couple. So let's just put 1 on it. It's fine. There we go. And oh, an antenna. Let's get this antenna and put it on the other side. There it is. Let's get it facing that way. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we've got the antenna, we've got the science thingy. Should we put 1 mystery goo unit on there? No, we will go back with the science mission at some point. This is our first lot of exploration. Now, what I intend to do now is what I did last time when we went to the moon. We're going to put another probe on top, and it's going to be similar to the one that's going around the moon, so we can just orbit. So service bay, let's open up the service bay, and we're going to put inside, we need a probe core. Where's the probe core? There's a probe core, and of course a battery to, oh no, come here battery. There we go. Is that sticking through? Looks okay to me for now. And then yeah, we need a communitron. Does that stick out? Yes, it does. Well, in that case, we need to move it into a position where it's not going to stick out. Let's try that. Oh, it just sticks out a tiny bit. Just hang on. No. There we go. That should do it. Yeah, that does it. And on the other side, the temperature thingy again. Thermometer. Brilliant! So there's our probe for just circling round. There's our probe for landing. Too much for landing. We don't need that much fuel, do we? Do we? I'm not so sure. Oh, let's reduce the amount of fuel because we're not coming back. We're not coming back. We're just going to leave it there, like space rubbish. There we go. There, brilliant. So we've got 2 probes in 1. Now we need to build something to get it to Minmus. All right, let's bring. Hang on a minute. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Wait. This probe needs solar panels. It's got them now. I'm just going to move them in a little bit because they do stick out a lot, don't they? There we go. That's better. Right, so that probe's needed solar panels. It's got solar panels. Right. Now. Here we go. This is it now, the big build. What engines have we? We've still got the swivel. Right, okay. In that case, let's go with a load of these. That many should do for now. Let's put the swivel on the bottom. Yep, looks good to me. And then we're going to put radial decouplers, 2 of them on the sides. Actually, let's put them on these sides. There we go. Attach the fuel canisters. So we're going to have 3. So we'll put... are we going to have 3? Yeah, we're going to have 3. So let's put that one on there, 1 on the top. There we go. 1 on the bottom. I'm just going to offset this a little bit so that when it peels off, it should peel off quite nicely. Now, do we have... We do have the strut connectors. Good. We need the strut connectors. That's going to stop things from flapping around too much. Do we have... we don't have the fuel line. Right. Let's save this as Minmus 1. I don't know if I spelt that right, but never mind. Okay, let's go just check R&D. Okay, so we are looking for fuely stuff. Propulsion systems, fuel... There you are, look, it's over here now, the external fuel ducts. It's going to cost us 90 science. Oh, we've got 65 science. But it's going to cost us 90 science to unlock that. Not something we can do right now. So in lieu of that, I'm thinking we're just going to have to burn all of these at once. We're going to have 1 swivel and we're going to have the other 2 as reliance. There we go. Quite happy with this. Let's just check the staging. So we've got the probe that detaches on the top. We haven't got any RCS, have we? No. Actually, I kind of feel like the solar panel should be here on this one. We don't want too much shade coming in under here and stopping them from working. Is that right? No, it's not right. There we go. Let's just offset them slightly. Let's do that and that. Put them in just the tiniest of amounts. Come on. I said tiny amounts. There and there. Oh, that's too far. Too far. There, that'll do. Right. So we've done the solar panels. Put these cones on here. That'll help it make it more efficient. And I do think we ought to have some thumpers on here. So let's get some thumpers popped on. 2? Should we do 2 to start? Or 4? Oh, you know what? We're doing this properly. We're off to Minmus properly. Let's put 4 on here. There we go. And... There we go. Oh dear, they're all... I don't look right. Don't look right at all. Okay, let's redo. Well, let's use the offset tool. Let's bring them down just a touch because we want the center of mass to be lower than the ejection point. That way, they should fall away from the craft. We're going to do the same with this one. There we go. That looks pretty good. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to throttle these thumpers down and still survive. I've no idea. Let's use some launch stability enhancers. Sounds like a good idea, doesn't it? And let's bring ourselves down to the launch pad or where it's going to be. Okay, let's just think this through a second. So we've got the... I think these are thumpers, aren't they? Yeah, we've got the thumpers to get us a good start. Then they all decouple. At the same time as the thumpers launching, we want to let go of the clamps. Then the side and middle rockets will all burn at the same time. The middle rocket should end up with more fuel in it because it's got more tanks. So we drop the side bits, and then when we're ready, we drop the bottom bit, and we fire up that engine probably before we do the proby bits. Oh dear. Well, there we go, folks. There is the Minmus 1 craft ready for our new adventure. So, to find out if we make it to Minmus, if we manage to land, and if we get the probes in orbit, join me next time. Thank you very much for watching. Any thoughts, ideas or questions down in the comments section below. Also, I'm going to do a game giveaway. I'm going to pick a random game out my goodie bag and I'm going to give it away in this episode. So to be in chance of winning that game, all you need to do is leave a comment down in the comment section, and at the end of the comment put 3 equal signs. Those 3 equal signs will let me know that you want to be part of the game giveaway. Sometime after 7 days from when this video was launched, I will pick one random winner from up to the first 100 entrants.